the question I asked this woman was, have we ever had any issues? No. Have any other person?
Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. So guys, today I came with gist. I came with a story. This was something that happened to me years ago, but each time I remember that incident, a lot of things, keep ringing in my mind. So that's why I want to share that story with you. But before I continue, I want to welcome anyone that is coming in or seeing my face for the first time. You're welcome. Where have you been? Anyways, you're welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Please subscribe to my channel so that you will join my family as always. Yeah. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I wish I could see all of you that constantly watch my videos, leave your honest comments. They mean a lot, like a lot to me. Thank you so much. So without wasting much of your time, let's go right into the main. Like I said, this thing happened to me years ago. Then my kids were still very small then. So here, well, in Europe that I know, they usually assign schools to children, schools that are close to where you live. So that entails us walking up and down. Do you understand? The school is not far, so you don't need to put the child in a bus, except rare cases. So in my own case, my children's school is close to my house. So, and the children always, they come back for break that time. So I'm always going through and through, running errands and all that. So, and the same thing that I do, other women do. So that kind of connects me with a lot of women. So we usually see in the mornings, in the afternoons and all that. So there's this woman I see, we greet, we laugh, we're good. The only difference is just that maybe we don't visit each other, but anytime we see, we greet, we laugh and all that. So one day she told me she wanted to see me, and yeah, I was like, what does she want to talk to me about? Bueno, let's move on. So eventually she came to me and told me, she came to me and I quote, she said, I came to meet you because I want us to be friends. I don't know, I didn't see it as a bad thing, but that was the very last thing on my mind, because all my life, a woman has not approached me to say, let us be friends. So that was the last thing on my mind. And again, for me, we're friends, we're acquaintances, we were good. Like I said, the only difference is just that we don't visit. The only time we can visit is maybe if something happens to this person, birthdays, or maybe if the person put to bed and all that. That's when we visit. But apart from that, anytime we see, we laugh. She was a good acquaintance, let me just say. So when she now said friend, I didn't understand what she meant, and besides, it was strange to me, and that was the last thing, like I said, I was expecting. So I didn't know what to answer. I just said, but we're friends already now. That was the only thing that came to my mind. I just said, yeah, we're friends, so we're friends. So she said, yeah, it's true. From there we continued our life. Anytime we see, we just greet and we laugh. How are the children? How is the family? If there's anything, new thing, any news, government news or something like that, we just, share stuff like that, okay? So that's aside. Then this other woman too, mothers. There's this other woman, we're also good. We see, we greet and all that. So this second woman, after some time, I noticed that her countenance towards me changed. She started becoming a little bit withdrawn. So sometimes I will see her. I'll be like, she'll see me, and I just feel that she's on, because I'll see her, she'll remove her face. I'll be like, maybe how people, sometimes you're thinking of something else. I'll greet her, she'll answer. After some time, she started answering reluctantly. After some time, she stopped. When I greet, she doesn't answer me. I'm like, I came and asked myself, I've checked myself, like if she was my very good friend, or maybe, she was my very good friend, I would be like, maybe sometimes, you know how you're so free with your friends, you can be so excited and you say something, and you will not know that the person is offended or something. So for that person, we didn't have any close relationship, but we just were good, like I said. So I was asking myself, for the best of my knowledge, I did not do anything to her. And she did not do anything to me. We don't have any connection apart from the day we see, we laugh. So I don't understand where her sudden change of attitude is coming from. And another thing that happened, anytime I see her, she behaves like that. It kind of takes away the peace that I have. Do you understand? When you know you didn't do anything to that person, and when you greet the person, sometimes the person will look at you up and down and move. So one day I came home and thought about it, because this life now, you just have to be free with people. So when I came back home, I decided within me, I'm like, the God that gave me the breath that I breathe doesn't give me this kind of stress. My husband does not give me this. Even my children, they don't give me this kind of stress. Who you? Who be you? Aside that, but that thing was giving me, it was taking away my peace. And I honestly, anybody that knows me knows that I cherish my peace a lot. So I made up my mind, if I go out any time and I see this woman, I greet her and she doesn't answer me, that will be that. I will exist her from my head, I will exist her from my heart, and I will exist her from my mouth. So the next time, obviously, I saw her, she did the same thing, and I acted accordingly. But in my heart of hearts, no grudges. I made sure I didn't, have any grudge. But one thing I usually do before was that if something like this happens, I will go talk to the person, like, did I offend you? Why are you acting like that? But I discovered that works against me. It might be working for other people, but it doesn't work well for me, because anytime I go ahead to ask somebody, what did I do to you? Why the sudden, change of attitude? We might reconcile, and you find out that it's something that a flimsy excuse. Then after some time, it will repeat again, and the person will be expecting you to come again. So, hombre, I have a lot of things in my life. I need a lot of things to catch up in my destiny. So I deleted that aspect of making peace out of my line. So the only thing if I check myself and I know that I offended you, I'll call you. But if I check myself and I didn't do anything to you, I move on with my life. So coming back to the story, I deleted the woman from every aspect of my life and moved on. So this continued. And when I did that, honestly, I regained my peace. Sometimes I wouldn't even know if she exists. So yeah, that was it after a long time, months. So one day I saw her, I didn't even notice, she greeted me and I answered. From there we started. After a very long time, because I know for sure she did not offend me. So she greeted me, we answered, and so from there we started, greeted. So one day she came to me, and one thing led to another, and she started telling me what happened, why she changed her attitude towards me. Can you guess? Guess. That first woman that came to me and said, let's be friends, that I gave her my honest, what I thought about it, went and told this second woman terrible things about me. And the woman just took it like that and started working on it. According to her, she hated me that period. For what? For something somebody told you about me. And unspeakable thing she said. You know how somebody tells you something about yourself and you be looking like, are you talking about somebody else, ma'am? That was exactly what happened. But the question I asked this woman was, have we ever had any issues? No. Have any other person told you a similar thing? She said no. Then why did you act on that to that extent? Like, I did not do anything to you, and you just started hating on me for no reason. Now, one thing she said was that what made her started suspecting the woman that told her this thing. She said the woman would tell her all these things and told her stop greeting me or something like that. But whenever this other woman sees me, the way she will hug me, how are the children, you're looking beautiful, or guy is trying, and she'll be like, that kind of thing. She said it was strange to her. Then she went and told somebody, and the person who I don't even know said that he knows me, that he sees me around, that I don't look like that kind of person. That was even why she came, to tell me all this. So, anytime I remember that thing, I keep wondering, how can somebody hate? That was a strong word. Even somebody that does something to me, I would just say I don't like her character. But for somebody to say, I hated you because of that, I'm like, two things came to my mind. Is it that she had something going on? Now, this person now told her something which, erupted the hatred. Because I don't understand why, you just hate on somebody just because of what somebody told you about the person. Do you understand? Now, from the story she told me, this woman never told her that she came to me. That's her anger now, was that she came to me and said, maybe let's be friends. And I said, maybe she didn't like my response. She didn't tell her that aspect. Obviously, that was where this one was, her own anger was coming from. You don't know where this person's anger, came from. And she just came and sowed that seed of hatred in you, and you started acting on it. Why would people, act on what somebody tells them about somebody without properly, knowing that person? And this has made some people, maybe somebody will tell you something about somebody, and maybe this person is who God assigned to help your life or to help your destiny, and you just hate that person and just be hating on that person and miss an opportunity, a life opportunity. This happens all the time. If you hear something, the problem is not what you heard, it's what you do with what you heard. But it's a different thing when you have an issue with somebody. Like I have an issue, and I noticed that this person is somebody that is very domineering, or somebody that is very stubborn. I've had issues with them. Now, when somebody brings, a problem or a similar issue, I now, put two and two together to be like, this person might be that kind of person. That one is somehow a different issue. But when you hate on somebody for no reason, just because maybe somebody said something, be careful who you give your ears to. Because sometimes it's when people keep telling you, the more they are talking to you about a particular person or a particular thing, the more is piling up. One day, that particular person they are talking to you about can do something, maybe something little, and you just burst out. You will not know that it is the accumulation of the things you have been hearing about that particular person or about a particular issue. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? The only thing, sometimes if somebody tells you something, you can, be careful in your dealings with the person, but not just, the person that you don't even have any fight or any sort of argument or any sort of issue with the person. Just started hating just because of what somebody told you. So that's what I just remembered and decided to come and share. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.